What's up, Barnhill family, and welcome back to your home for all things combat sports.
Yo.
So, Nick, whether or not you agree on the decision that was Suga Sean versus Petr Yan, I think one thing we all can agree on as MMA fans is that it was an awesome fight.
Absolutely. They totally deserved the $50,000 fight bonus that they got. They threw down for the entire 15 minutes that we got to see him go. And I think one thing that was really answered in this fight was that Suga Sean can certainly hang with the best in the world. Petr Yan has proven to us that he is world champion caliber. He was the champion of the world at one point. And I think with the judges deciding that Suga Sean got the victory, that speaks volumes. And I think nobody's more surprised at how well they did than Suga Sean.
I think you're absolutely right. Sean is a very confident, very brash sort of guy when he steps into the cage. I did see him a little bit more reserved than we normally see Sean last night. He looked like, okay, this is a big moment, this is a big fight, and there's a true killer standing across from me, and I need to be ready for it. So in a lot of ways, you're right that he proved to himself that he belongs. It's one thing to talk the talk and say, I'm the best, I can hang with anybody, but then eventually the cage door has to close, and the best has to stand across from you, and there is that little window of doubt that you have to overcome yourself, and I think Sean definitely did that. Now, personally, I scored the fight 2-1 for Yan. I think the only round that was really in question was the first. The second round was very clearly Petr Yan's round. He did a lot of damage in that round, had a lot of ground control time. The third round, I thought Sean was going to get Petr out of there at times. That round clearly went to Sean. So the first round is the one where you have to decide the fight. So whether or not you scored the first round for Petr or for Sean, I think is how your decision would end up looking. I personally scored it for Yan, but a lot of people are saying that, hey, this is the biggest rob job in UFC history, and these judges have no idea what they're doing. I didn't see it as that. I saw it as they got the wrong guy, but it was razor close. It wasn't a quote-unquote rob job in my estimation.
Absolutely not. I think Suga did really good. He won a lot of those exchanges, like I said. Petr Yan just didn't have a perfect third round, and sometimes the third round can be the one that really swings the judges' minds, and they go, oh my gosh, even though I filled out my card in a certain direction, that last round really is like a statement to be made. And Suga Sean came out strong. He looked really good. He handled a lot of adversity. And one thing I really like about Suga is that he is completely transparent. He doesn't try to act like he's better than everybody else or anything like that. He is kind of a relatable character. And I know that he has the rainbow hair and the shtick and everything like that. But at the end of the day, he relates to a lot of people because he's just a normal guy and he speaks the truth. He speaks from the heart. And you saw that in the post-fight speech. I mean, he didn't even really fully believe that he won that fight. And that shows the sportsmanship level that he's at. He's like, I'm going to go back and watch the fight. And before he makes a call out, which would have been a perfect opportunity for him to call either Aljo or TJ, whoever's going to win the fight directly after him, he said, I'm going to go back and watch this fight. And that speaks volumes because obviously Suga is a star. Now we know he has the skills to compete with the very best in the world. And he wants to make sure that he's ready for a title shot. And I think that that speaks volumes because when you have somebody who's ranked number 12 in the world and they get launched up into a #1 contenders fight with the former champion who's now the #1 fighter in the world and many think is the best fighter in that division, it makes you start to question like the career path that you're now on. And Suga Sean, he rose to the occasion. He had to really dig deep, and he gave Petr a ton of credit going into this fight. He knew this was going to be the toughest match of his entire career, and it was exactly that. Everybody always says there's levels to this game, and you can go on a 10-fight knockout tear in the local regional scene and then get to the UFC and just have no success. So to see Sean have a lot of success and grow and evolve as a fighter is really fun. And now we realize that he doesn't just belong in the rankings. He belongs in the top 5, in the top 3, and he's just as good as advertised. And I think that both of these guys are going to achieve UFC gold again in their career. Either Petr Yan will get it one more time or Suga Sean will get there sooner than later.
Yeah, I think both of them are future champions, and they both happen to be in the hardest weight class in the entire sport, which is bantamweight right now. That division is just firing on all cylinders. There's like a Legends League going on. There's like a Top Contenders League going on. There's all different styles being represented. So I'm super bullish and super hot on bantamweight right now. And I did like what Sean said about, I need to go back and watch this fight again and then determine if I really should be getting a title shot based off of that win. Because if you watch the embeddeds and the countdowns, he was videoed saying, oh, if I win this fight. I'm for sure getting a title next. This is going to be destiny fulfilled. Doesn't matter if it's TJ, doesn't matter if it's Aljo. I'm getting the belt on my waist after I defeat Petr Yan. But then his immediate reaction after the fight, which was a lot more candid and from the heart, was, I need to watch that fight and see, did I really win that fight? Do I need to have one more before I get in there for a title? And honestly, I think it kind of sets up perfectly to put Chito Vera in there for a title against Aljo now. I think that's an excellent fight. And I think that's a 50-50 fight, honestly. Chito's a very powerful guy, and his takedown defense has gotten much, much better as his career has evolved. Wouldn't it be great to see Chito get in there for a title, win it, and then potentially get the rematch of Sean versus Vera for the belt? I know I'm getting way ahead of myself here, but just thinking about what could be fun fights, that would be one of the most fun.
Absolutely. And I think Sean's going to go back and watch this fight and be proud of the performance that he put on. He definitely put it on Petr Yan. Now, don't get me wrong, Petr Yan put it on him as well, and I think that fight could go either way. I think the judges were split for a good reason. I would love to see them run that back at some point, maybe for a title, maybe not, but those two were made to fight each other because that fight was fireworks from start to finish, and Suga definitely deserves a lot of credit for rising to the occasion.
He definitely does. Thanks for watching this video, guys. We're your hub for all things combat sports. If that's your jam, we appreciate a subscribe and a like on the video, and drop us a comment down below. We'll see you next time.
Peace.